Good afternoon, Cats fans, and welcome back to our 2015 showcase. I'm Alex Von Keutel, and as always, I'm thrilled to be bringing you another broadcast of Wildcats hockey presented by Armored Roofing. Well, we're halfway through this annual showcase here in Blaine, Minnesota, and so far, your Wildcats have been perfect. They won both of their games against Minot and Cooley Region and have only yielded one goal throughout the entire tournament thus far. Goalkeepers Justin Kappelmaster and Julian Syme have both been phenomenal. Together, they have stopped 47 of a combined 48 shots thrown their way, which amounts to a .979 save percentage. Simply incredible statistics from the Cats netminders. The most important players for the Cats have not been the only strong contributors to this team's success. The Cats' two youngest players, Adam Goodsir and Ben Lown, are tied for a team leading 5 points apiece in just 4 games so far this season. Goodsir leads the Cats in goals with 3, and Lown is 4th in the league with 5 assists. Each of these youngsters just recently turned 17, suggesting the future looks bright indeed for the Wichita Falls Wildcats. Despite another win last night, there were areas the coaches felt needed some changing against Kenai River this afternoon. Garrett Van Wee, has been placed between Austin Beaulieu and Andre Paisan. Taking his spot will be Nikita Litviak on the red-hot Goodsir line with Ben Lown. Austin Albrecht has also been reinstated into the lineup, but he's got a couple of new line mates in Nick Rosa and Parker Mismash. On defense, Rourke Russell has taken Jeff Baum's position for the night. Baum will be a healthy scratch this afternoon, in addition to Holden Cronin, Alex Falconer, Ryan Burnett, and Alexei Poikala. Between the pipes this afternoon will be steady anchor Justin Kappelmaster, who will try his best to replicate his shutout performance from Wednesday against the Minot Minotauros. As for the Kenai River Brown Bears, stalwart goaltender Brian Baker will not be starting for Kenai this afternoon. He will be replaced instead by Nick Nace, the Oxnard, California native. Nace comes into this game having only 2 games under his belt with the Kenai River Brown Bears, and he has struggled up to this point, so the Wichita Falls Wildcats will look to take advantage of the fact that the Brown Bears' star goaltender Brian Baker is not in the lineup. Or not starting, rather, for Kenai. Brian Baker had an incredible showing a couple of weeks ago against the Janesville Jets. It was about a week ago, in which he led his team to a heroic comeback, their only win of the season thus far, Kenai Rivers. The result of that game was 4-3. It went to overtime, and because of that game, in which Baker stopped 40 shots, he was given the Midwest Division's first star of the week. So without him playing this afternoon, the Cats will look to take full advantage and get as many shots on goal as they possibly can, as we've seen a bit of a struggle from the offense thus far. Just 3 goals plus an empty net goal throughout the first 2 games at this showcase, which isn't a very familiar sight from head coach LaFontaine, who is accustomed to tons of goals. Of course, the Wichita Falls Wildcats leading the North American Hockey League in goals last season, as well as several other offensive statistics. But their defense and their goaltending has been simply outstanding. And we get ready for the starting lineups. Well, you heard it from the public address announcer. Let's play some hockey. Game 3 of a 4-game series for your Wichita Falls Wildcats, who are 2-0 thus far in the showcase. Their last game will be tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. against the New Jersey Titans, who won their game today, as well as both of the other ones that they've had at the showcase thus far. So they're 3-0 while here in Blaine. They defeated the Wildcats' nemesis, the Topeka Roadrunners, earlier today on this very same rink by a score of 3-2 in a game in which the Roadrunners nearly came back. They had a flurry of shots on the New Jersey net, but the Titans able to hold strong and weather the storm that the Roadrunners threw their way. Not sure if that's good news or bad news for the Cats, who are South Divisional rivals with the Topeka Roadrunners, but at the same time will now face a very confident New Jersey Titans team tomorrow morning. The players get set, and the opening face-off of Day 3 in the annual showcase is underway here on Rink 2 at the Schwann Super Rink in Blaine, Minnesota, as Yeager wins the opening face-off and Dementis Sipus dumps it into the Kenai River zone. It goes in behind the Kenai net. Yeager jostling for it, picked up by Jason Lem, who gets it out to center ice. Sipus jamming it free, dumped in behind the Cats net by Cameron Cook. Justin Kappelmaster gets his first touch on the puck. Played in behind the Wildcats net. Sipus gunning it down. Lazarus gets to it first. Chopped it to the blue line, but not out. Lem keeps it in. To the near point. Nichols walks the blue line, takes a shot. Redirected on goal. Save made. Rebound. They score. That didn't take long. Just 36 seconds into this game, the Kenai River Brown Bears have struck, and it's 1-0 Kenai. I believe that goal will be credited to number 20, Cameron Cook in brown. Kappelmaster made the initial stop on a point shot from Jack Nichols, and Cameron Cook was in the right place at the right time. So this is an unfamiliar spot for the Cats, who have not trailed this tournament so far, and now do so just 36 seconds into this game. Shot trickled through the 5-hole of Justin Kappelmaster, who did well to kick out the right pad and make the initial stop, but just couldn't get the wickets closed in time before Cameron Cook buried it between his legs. Off the tie-up now in the Wichita Falls zone, and the face-off is won by Van Wy, but turned over. Here's Noah Gilraith, who finds Austin Beaulieu. One into the near side boards. Van Wy goes down, picked up there in the Wichita Falls zone by Jack Gessert, their leading scorer. He's got 8 points on the season thus far. Nobody else on his team is even close. Justin Beauchevet, the second leading scorer, with only 5. Beaulieu with a good pass in front. Gilraith shoots, and that one is soaked up and stopped by Nick Nast, his first save of the night. Good little pass there from Austin Beaulieu, who sprung the defenseman Noah Gilraith, who jumped into the play at the right time. Rourke Russell, who was scratched in last night's game, walks the puck, sent one to the front, and tied up there was Lown, so he couldn't get a shot away. As the Kenai River Brown Bears get the puck as far as center, but no further. Nikita Litviak gains control. Down the right wing side, looks for the trailer. Here's Russell. He's shot in and out of the glove. Save made. Rebound. Shot over the net by Rourke Russell. Puck is fired off the far half boards, but not out. Kept in once more by Michael Rounds, who's pinned right there in front of the Kenai River bench. 5 players whacking away at this puck, and it's finally knocked loose, but the official had just blown the whistle before it was knocked loose, so we're going to get a whistle here. And an offensive zone face-off for the Cats. The instructions of the official, Maltner. Adam Goodser's line to take the face-off. Goodser's line with a new addition, Nikita Litviak, in lieu of Austin Albrecht, who's been moved down to Nick Rosa's line. Rourke Russell shot it off the far half boards, gets it right back, finds Nikita Litviak through the middle. Goodsir over the line, shot one that trickled on goal and was sticked aside there by Nick Nast. Comes around the corner boards, Nikita Litviak jarring it loose, back to the near point. Russell shoots, redirected, and it goes wide by Ben Lown. Ben Lown scooping it up, far corner, looks for somewhere to go with it. Ezekiel Estrada jamming it away from him. Finally, the Brown Bears maintain control. Good pinch here by Rourke Russell to keep it alive. Rourke Russell sent one in front, intercepted there. Cats still applying pressure. Ben Lown turns with it, finding Michael Rounds. Check that, Austin Albrecht, he turned it over. Keene finally gets the puck out of his own end. Parker Mismash back in the Cats zone to pick it up. Nick Rosa with his head up all the way, dodges a check and then a second one. Springs Mishmash, he shot one, partially blocked by Craw Evingson, the Alaska native. Puck now comes out to center ice. Cameron Cook fighting for it with Austin Albrecht. Taken there by Demantis Sipis, who banked it off the boards for Albrecht. He shot a weak one on goal. It stopped easily there by Nick Nast. Picked up by Jason Lem. Passed one off the far half boards and all the way down. Icing is going to be the result here as Max Reisinger is back to touch it up. So we get a whistle here. 16:44 remaining in our first period of Wildcats hockey presented by American Classifieds. Your score, Kenai River with 1, Wichita Falls with nothing. But they've got an offensive zone opportunity here on this draw. Eric Yeager's line is out there against Joey Sardina's line. A turnaround shot from Reisinger goes wide, picked up by Yeager, who tried to wrap around, and with the paddle down there was Nick Ness, so he made the save. Out it comes the other way. Dumped into the Wichita Falls zone. Sipis for his defensive partner on the far side, and Matt Hines up the middle for Yeager, who gains the Kenai blue line. Yeager takes it wide on the defenseman Craw Evingson. Yeager had it stolen from him by Evingson, who clears it out to center, where it's picked up by Jack Gessert. Gessert's pass is redirected back into the Kenai zone. Around the end boards with it goes Jason Lem. Joffrey Salau back for Lem. Lem with his head up. Finds a man in Gessert through the middle of the ice. Gains the Wichita Falls line. Good skate to stick play made there by Gunnar Goodmanson, who played it in behind the net. Gessert, here's a try, and the net has been knocked off its moorings. So we get a whistle, and boy, a pretty big break there for the Wichita Falls Wildcats, who were scrambling a bit in their own zone, and looked like Justin Beaushaver had a grade A opportunity at the Wildcats net, but it had been knocked loose. And as the official Altner is instructed to do, he blew the whistle. Defensive zone draw now for the Cats. Garrett Van Wy lines up across from Gunnar Goodmanson. Van Wy won it. Picked up by Austin Bolio, who fanned on the passing attempt. Out to center ice it comes. Jason Lem fires it right back in. Good heads-up play by Jacob Dalton to clear the puck out. Jacob Dalton is back defensively with the puck in his own zone. He banks it off the end boards. Gilraith finding Austin Bolio, whose pass was rink wide on the tape for Paisan, who's brought down there emphatically by Jeffrey Salau. Garrett Van Wy picks it up in the far corner in the Kenai zone. Jars it free for Austin Bolio, who couldn't get a stick on it. Picked up instead by Joffrey Salau. Cleared out to center ice. Gilraith has it. Fired a knuckle puck in the direction of Garrett Van Wy, who finds Bolio breaking across the Kenai River line. Puck knocked off his stick, and here come the Bears. Through the middle of the ice, Keene, the defenseman, leads the rush. Sent one to the near side. Picked up by Samuel Carlson. Jammed free. Kressel tried to go after it. Cleared out to center by Nikita Litviak, and it's a 1-on-2 for Ben Lown. Ben Lown waiting for his teammates to complete a line change, but he lost the puck in doing so. Picked up by Thomas Kane now. Fed down the far wing. Cleared out into the Wichita Falls zone. Rourke Russell swinging it around the back boards. Nobody's there except for Samuel Carlson, who keeps the puck alive there for Kenai. Jammed free in behind the net. Goodsir using every inch of his 6'2" body to pin Kressel to the boards there. And a 5-man battle ensuing here for this loose puck. Finally, the Cats win the draw. Rourke Russell banked it off the far side boards, intercepted. Kressel tried to clear. He fanned on it. There goes Goodsir on a 3-on-1. He's got Lown and Litviak. Goodsir shoots. He scores! Adam Goodsir with a beautiful shot. High glove on Nick Nast. And the Wichita Falls Wildcats have tied this game. The first period scoring here. Both teams scoring a goal. The Kenai River Brown Bears notching one within the first 36 seconds, and the Cats answering within the first 6 minutes. Here's Rourke Russell. Michael Rounds. His pass a bit too far for Albrecht, but he's going to be able to negate the icing call. Albrecht gets to it first, goes behind the Kenai net, has a trailer, and Rourke Russell can't get it to him, goes to Rounds instead. His shot redirected wide of the goal. A stuff attempt for the side of the cage by Mismatch is snuffed out and skated out of harm's way there by Thomas Bow. Out to center. Couple of collisions there in the neutral zone. Banked off the near half boards. Albrecht was handcuffed by Evingston. He wanted a penalty, and it looks like he's going to get one here. Qua Evingston is going to get the call for holding, as he was attached to Albrecht's arms and stick there, it appeared. So the Anchorage native, Qua Evingston, now heading to the Kenai River sin bin. And the Cats get their first opportunity with the man advantage here. Face-off one back to Michael Rounds. Far point, Andre Paisan guides it in behind. A different look here without Alexei Poikla in the lineup on this power play. Michael Rounds far side. Litviak shoots one. That one stopped. Rebound stopped again. Good couple of saves by Nick Nast. Litviak keeps the play alive. In behind the net, Austin Beaulieu. Eric Yeager near circle. Looks for somewhere to go. Deals it on back to the blue line for Michael Rounds, who's done a good job all season getting his shots through traffic. Eric Yeager swapping there with Austin Beaulieu. In front of the net is Paisan, screening the netminder Nast. Rounds shoots, blocked in front by a Kenai defender. In front of the net, Yeager's stuff attempt is stopped by Nast. A good couple of saves there by Nick Nast, who keeps his team tied. And boy, the Cats were all over the Brown Bears in that sequence. They have another offensive zone draw opportunity, but it's won by Kenai and blasted around the boards. Wichita Falls with a very good power play percentage on the year at 23.08 thus far. Ben Lown gives a return to Reisinger, goal line, cross ice pass, they score! Adam Goodsir once again, his second goal of the night. What an incredible pass by Max Reisinger, the veteran winger for Wichita Falls. And the Cats come through on the Jim Arnold Collision power play, and they have their first lead of the game. It's 2-1. Adam Goodsir now with 5 goals on the year. No one else on the Cats is even close. The next highest is Jeff Baum, who's got those 2 from Topeka. But the youngster for the Cats coming up strong once again. As the puck has been fired by Kenai in behind the Wichita Falls net. Austin Albrecht in his own end tries to clear. Nichols shot one that weakly trickled wide of the Cats' goal. Demantis Sipus finding Parker Mismatch, who couldn't spring his forward in Rosa. Behind the net once more. Sipus around the far half boards with it. Mismatch for Matt Hines. Plenty of time to clear, and he does. Austin Albrecht with a full head of steam shoots it into the glove of Nick Nast, and he holds on. About a dozen minutes remaining here in our first period of hockey. The Cats and the Kenai River Brown Bears on Rink 2 here in day 3 of the annual showcase in Blaine, Minnesota. The Cats with a 2-1 lead over the Kenai River Brown Bears. Garrett Van Wy off the tie-up. Couldn't get his stick on it. Paisan rescues it and plays it into the far corner. Austin Beaulieu deals it back to the point. Russell, D-to-D pass. Rounds fanned on the shot as it's skated out of harm's way by Kenai River. Here's Samuel Carlson over the Wichita Falls line. Goes wide on Rounds. Carlson behind the net now. Carlson pressured every step of the way there by Michael Rounds, who's playing well in his own zone. Fasiga trying to jam it loose, and he does, but to Rounds instead of Carlson. Puck is turned over from Fasiga by Goodsir. Check that, Rourke Russell rather. skated across the Kenai River line. A shot from Bolio, and he broke his stick. So he's going to have to go back to the Wichita Falls bench. Here's Garrett Van Wy off a good stretch pass from Gilreath. His shot, stick save is made by Nast. As the Kenai River Brown Bears look to make a counterattack. It's brought across the line there and deep into the Wichita Falls zone. Carried in behind the net. Jacob Dalton shielding off Sam Carlson. As the Wichita Falls Wildcats skate the other way with it. Max Reisinger down the left wing side. Shot one, it went high over the glove of Nick Nast. Lazarus rescuing the puck. And the loose stick that Bolio had broken was shot towards the Wichita Falls defense. No penalty against the Kenai River Brown Bears. Cross-ice pass jumped over the stick of Dalton. What a find by Lazarus regardless. Goes in behind the net. Reisinger with a good stick lift, trying to rescue the puck, but it's taken by Kenai instead. Bow battling for it. Down goes Lazarus, courtesy there of number 6 in brown, Thomas Keene. Out to center. Jacob Dalton. Backhands one across the Kenai River line. Thomas Keene is back defensively. Thomas Bow guides it out to center. Picked off there by the speedy Ben Lown, who gains the Kenai line. Cuts into the middle. Ben Lown goes wide. Shoots. Save made. Rebound. Score! Nikita Litviak right there on the doorstep. Buries the rebound past Nast. And the Cats are off and running to a 3-1 lead. And the Kenai River head coach, Geoffrey Beauparlon, is taking his time out here. He does not like what he's seeing. The first period has only just crossed its halfway point, and the Cats have already scored 3 goals, and Nast has made a couple of grade A saves. He's going to regroup the troops over at the Kenai River bench. The River Brown Bears have had a shaky start to the season, to say the least. They are 1-5 on the year. Their only win coming in overtime, courtesy of their goaltender Brian Baker, who stopped 40 shots that came his way. 37 of 40, I should say. Was able to force the game into overtime. Dropped their season opener against the Fairbanks Ice Dogs in decisive fashion. Their longtime rivals, who are as hot as any team in the North American Hockey League right now, the Fairbanks Ice Dogs, I should notify you, have beaten the Lone Star Brahmas, which is good news for Wichita Falls, but that means the Ice Dogs are at 6-0. By far the most impressive record in this league thus far. Qua Eddingson banks it off the near glass and out to center. Nikita Litviak gaining control of the puck. Turned over in the neutral zone. Adam Goodsir skates across the line, drops it off. A shot from Lown goes just wide. Comes around the near boards. Hines jumps into the play to keep the puck alive. He backhands one beyond the Kenai River goal line. Qua Eddingson behind the net for Jack Nichols. Nichols with an assist on the night. The defenseman dumps the puck in behind the Wichita Falls net. Here's Rourke Russell flying down the near wing. Rourke Russell once again leading a Wildcat rush as a defenseman. His shot was sticked aside easily by Nick Nast. Comes loose there for Parker Mismash, who's fought hard against the boards there by Jeffrey Salo, and we may be getting a penalty here against Kenai River. Looks like it's going to be a cross-check against Gunnar Goodmanson, who took Nick Rosa out of the play. No, the cross-check is against Rosa. Boy, did not see that happen, but leaves the Cats short-handed for the first time in the night and gives Kenai their first opportunity with the man advantage here. Cats have had a very good penalty kill up till now, killing 14 of the 15 they have faced with a 93% success rate, their penalty kill. A couple teams still at 100%. Gunnar Goodmanson's shot blocked out in front. Rescued at the near point by Kenai Rivers' Joffrey Salau, but the puck is cleared back into the Kenai zone. The goaltender Nick Nast is out, and he reverses the puck behind his own net. Beaulieu taking away the passing lanes from the Kenai defenseman. He swaps there with Garrett Van Wy on the line change. Here comes Joffrey Salau. He dumps the puck into the Wichita Falls zone. Then he goes for a line change, played by Kappelmaster around the near boards. Eric Yeager's pass jumped away from Garrett Van Wy. Van Wy had a bit of a blowout. Puck picked up there by Jason Lem. Handed over for Qua Evingston, the 6'5" Alaska native. Lem gains the Wichita Falls line. 50 seconds remaining on the penalty kill for the Cats. Lem gets the return pass from Evingston, deals it into the corner for Evan Butcher, who doesn't have a shooting lane. Evan Butcher looks towards the goal line, passes it there into the corner on Joey Sardina's tape. Back to Lem once more, returning the pass for Evan Butcher. Butcher walks into the slot, fires one through the screen, stick save Kappelmaster. Rebound is loose in the blue paint, and the official has finally blown the whistle after a net mouth scramble. They're trying to put a halt to the pushing and shoving. Despite having an absolutely phenomenal showing against Minot 2 days ago, Justin Kappelmaster has struggled a little bit in the early going. Against Topeka, he surrendered the first shot he faced, and he did in this game as well. But other than the very start of games, he has been absolutely fantastic. He's been a rock in goal for the Cats. Keene now for Kenai. Gains the blue line and dumps it in behind the Cats' net. They battle away for the puck, and Matt Hines wins it and clears it all the way down. Time winds down as the final seconds tick off the clock of this Kenai River Brown Bears power play. And the Cats have successfully killed off their first penalty. Both teams back at full strength as it's skated through the neutral zone there by Joffrey Salau. He springs Samuel Carlson, knocked out of the way there by Kappelmaster, back to the near point. Keene doesn't have a lane, guides it in behind the net. Beauchever had trouble with it, pops loose behind the Cats' net. Hines' pass went off a skate. Beauchever's got it now. Carlson's backhander is gloved and held by Kappelmaster, and now Carlson taking a few shoves from Matt Hines, and the officials breaking things up. Just under 6 minutes to go here in the first period, presented by American Classifieds. 3-1 your score in favor of the Wichita Falls Wildcats. They are tasked with a defensive zone face-off now as the trusted center Nick Rosa takes it, but he lost the draw. Long slap shot, save Kappelmaster, loose again, and the official blows the whistle to prevent any further harm done to the goaltender and to the net, which has been lost off its moorings quite a few times already in this game. Cats remain pinned in their own zone for this defensive zone face-off here. Eric Yeager's line is out against that of Adam Kressel. Not won cleanly by either side. Seemingly every player on the ice battling for that puck. Finally, it's picked up by Yeager, and he skates it behind his own cage. Eric Yeager with an assist in last night's game. Shoots it out to center ice. Nichols' pass goes off the far half boards near the linesman. Carlson tried to guide it in through the blue paint, and once again, the net has been knocked catawampus, and Kappelmaster gave a little extra shove there to Jeffrey Fasiga. Saw it happen a couple of times last night in the Cooley region game. The chill zone, we saw quite a few times when the net was knocked askew right before the Cats had the opportunity to score a goal. In this game thus far, it's been the opposite. Here's Matt Hines, whose saucer pass led it ahead for Austin Beaulieu, who finds Van Wy across the Kenai line. Paisan now puts on the brakes, reverses the puck intended for Van Wy. Getting to it first, however, is Geoffrey Salau. Van Wy tying up Salau. Puck comes free. Andre Paisan protecting the puck well, and a weak backhand shot is steered aside by Nick Nast. Puck shot off the near boards and carried out of danger there by Sardina. Joey Sardina is onside across the Wichita Falls line. Poked away from him by Demantis Sipis, who rides Sardina into the boards. Van Wy aiding his 6'5" Lithuanian defenseman. Puck is finally knocked loose and behind the Wildcats net. Matt Hines. His pass dangerously into the middle, kept alive there after the deflection, sent in behind the net. Michael Rounds finds Garrett Van Wy, who's at the end of a shift, so he's going to be looking to dump. But instead goes to Beaulieu, who will kill a little bit of time. Puck picked up there by Thomas Keene. Cleared out to the neutral zone. Nikita Litviak has got it. He gains the Kenai line, drops it off. Good serve, fed it for Lown. He shot one. Shoulder save is made in goal by Nick Nast, who lost his stick. Nikita Litviak, Ben Lown behind the net. He's got Good Sir. Will he go to him? No. He switches places, goes to the outside. Michael Rounds looks, tried to slide one back door for Good Sir, who was parked in front of the net, but is picked off and skated out of danger there by Gunnar Goodmanson, who shot one that went high and wide. Rourke Russell just takes a big hit there by Justin Beauchever as Goodmanson jumps into the fray. Russell is run into again by Cameron Cook this time. Ben Lown with a backhand pass on Goodsir's tape. Goodsir across the Kenai line. Russell wants it. He gets it. He shoots. Pad save is made in goal by Nick Nast. Corralled by Ben Lown. Lots of youngsters on the ice here, and Lown, Goodsir, and Rourke Russell, all born in 1998. All 17 years old. Puck ends up at center ice. Big hit there by Russell on Nichols. But that's going to cost him. Rourke Russell ran into Jack Nichols, and he's going to get the call for tripping here. So the Cats will be tasked with killing a second Kenai River power play. Official call was kneeing against Rourke Russell. Based on the gesture given by the official, I thought it was tripping, but kneeing is the call. So the Cats, for the second time, go to the penalty kill, and they win the draw as Yeager wasted no time clearing the puck all the way down. 3 minutes remain here in our first period, presented by Armored Roofing. 3-1 your score in favor of the Wichita Falls Wildcats, who look to remain perfect going into tomorrow morning's game against the New Jersey Titans, who won their game tonight as well against the Topeka Roadrunners. They are perfect. The Titans are at 3-0 thus far in the showcase. The puck has been iced by Kenai, so the faceoff ends up in their zone. Minute 40 to kill on this Wichita Falls penalty kill. Yeager still out there. He takes the draw and wins it once more. Gilraith deals it on back to his defensive partner on the PK, Jacob Dalton. And the Cats will play a little keep away here on the short-handed unit before Max Reisinger just fires the puck in behind the Kenai River net. Geoffrey Salau. The Bears finally in control. Sent to the far side. Crossed over the Wichita Falls line, held in at the point momentarily. Good couple of moves there by the Bears, and they keep the puck alive in the Cat zone. Played in behind the net by Justin Beauchever. Knocked off the puck. Comes loose back to the defense and steered away. Good stick positioning there by Eric Yeager, who managed to clear it all the way down. 50 seconds remain on this Kenai power play. They haven't mounted to much thus far with the man advantage. Here's Joey Sardina over the Wichita Falls line. Demantis Sipis hammers it all the way down the ice. Some very stout defensive play, which we've seen this entire showcase from Wichita Falls, continues. Their stingy defense has frustrated teams. We saw it in Minot, and we saw it in Cooley. Oh, and then Sardina was just run into there by Michael Rounds, who was back checking. He looked like he might have had an open net chance, and Rounds might have just saved a goal. And once again, the net has been knocked askew, but looks like there's going to be a penalty against Michael Rounds, and the Cats may be in some trouble here. They're going to a 5-on-3 penalty kill. And Michael Rounds getting the call for hooking, so two of the Cats defensemen are in the box while they try to kill this 5-on-3 power play for Kenai River. Here's Nichols in the deep slot, sent one back door, one-timer, that one missed the net. Picked up there by Evan Butcher, goes on to the point. Jack Nichols, Evan Butcher shoots, fought off by Kappelmaster behind the net. Dalton whacks at it, Evan Butcher got it. Cats failing to clear. Jack Nichols walks the blue line, hammers a shot, blocked by Gilraith and out to center as Gilraith labors now in some pain. Back to the Wichita Falls bench after having blocked that shot. As a delayed penalty is upcoming here against the Kenai River Bears. Kappelmaster getting to the bench, but not in time, and the whistle blows. So it looks like we're going to the 4-on-4 here. Qua Evingston now goes to the Kenai River sin bin, and it looks like for hooking, I believe. Less than a minute remains in our first period. 3-1 your score in favor of the Wichita Falls Wildcats. Holding is the call against Qua Evingston, so we go to the 4-on-4 for the next minute or so. Demantis Sipus shoots it in behind the Bears net. Picked up by Joffrey Salau. Fired out to center, regained by Sipus, who has a look. Jonathan Lazarus in his own end. Passed out to center ice, Austin Albrecht gunning it down. Corralled first, however, by Thomas Keene, who turns. Finding a man open in Jack Gessert, their leading scorer. Picked up by Salau. Salau sent one into the middle that went off a stick. Held in far point by Thomas Keene. Keene, the defenseman, jumps into the play. Protects the puck behind the net. Run into there along the glass by Matt Hines. Sipus goes down. Gessert's stick was held onto by Sipus, who somehow evaded the call, and he's able to clear it all the way down as time winds down in this first period of Wildcats hockey presented by American Classifieds. Your score, 3-1 in favor of the Wichita Falls Wildcats. When we come back, the Cats are going to be on the man advantage after about 30 seconds of some 4-on-4. Due to the Qua Evingston holding penalty. And he is expressing his disagreement on that call as we speak with the official Altner at center ice. And some of the Kenai River Bears players skating over and thanking their goalie for keeping them within striking distance here in this game. Well, don't go too far, fans. We're going to be right back in a few moments for some updates from around the league as well as a first period recap.